Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be talking about AI and creativity. And to help us do that, we'll be looking at excerpts from the book AI for Creativity by Nicholas Hageback. So get ready to unpack the creative process itself, see how AI fits into it all, and maybe even challenge some of our assumptions about what creativity really is.
Yeah, it's going to be a fascinating journey. The book starts by laying out a framework for human creativity.
Okay, so let's talk about that. The book highlights Graham Wallace's 4 stages of creativity.
Yeah.
Preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. This framework is almost 100 years old, but it still seems to resonate, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a classic for a reason. So we start with preparation, where you gather your inspiration and knowledge. Then we move into incubation, where you let those ideas simmer in the back of your mind. And then, boom, illumination strikes. You get that classic aha moment. And finally, you test and refine your idea during verification.
Yeah, it's like that light bulb suddenly switching on over your head.
Yeah.
But how does that illumination phase really happen? It feels almost magical.
That's the mystery, isn't it? The book dives into the unconscious mind's role here. Intuition, those flashes of insight. They're so hard to explain, but they're at the heart of so many creative breakthroughs.
I love that the book uses Archimedes' Eureka moment as an example. The story where he figures out how to calculate volume while taking a bath. It's like it perfectly captures that feeling of excitement that comes with a creative breakthrough.
Oh, it's such a classic image, that sudden realization, right? It can change everything. The book also quotes Pablo Picasso, who said, "Every act of creation is first an act of destruction." It makes you wonder, what old ideas do we need to let go of to make space for something truly new?
I mean, that's a bit radical, but it makes sense. To create something new, you might have to break down those old assumptions about how things should be.
Exactly. Destroying those preconceived notions can lead to some real innovation. The book explores how different fields approach this destruction to create something new.
Okay, let's dive into those different fields. Tell me more about how the book connects creativity to art.
Well, think about how art has evolved. We started with cave paintings, maybe trying to capture the essence of a hunt. Now we have abstract art, like Kandinsky's work, which is focused on expressing something spiritual.
It's fascinating to think about how art has always tried to express those things that are hard to put into words.
It makes you look at your favorite painting differently, doesn't it? What is the artist trying to communicate beyond the brushstrokes? What is that unspoken element that resonates with you?
It's like a whole new layer of appreciation. Then the book dives into religious mysticism. Honestly, I wouldn't have thought to connect that with creativity.
But think about it. Mystics are always striving for knowledge beyond the everyday, trying to connect with something bigger. Those mystical experiences, with their emphasis on intuition and revelation, have some interesting parallels with the creative process.
So even though the goals are different, art versus spiritual experience, the mental processes might have similarities. That's pretty wild.
It really is. Finally, the book touches on literature and linguistics. Think about how metaphors shape our understanding, or even just the specific words we choose. Language itself can be a tool to spark creativity.
It's like when a well-placed metaphor suddenly helps you understand a complicated idea. It's almost like a shortcut for your brain.
And it's through language that we try to make sense of those intuitive leaps, those unspoken elements that are so hard to pin down. We use words to bridge the gap between our conscious understanding and the mysteries of the unconscious mind.
So we've talked about, the human side of creativity, but now let's bring AI into the mix. The book kind of shifts its focus to what it calls computational creativity.
Right. Essentially, we're talking about algorithms that are designed to replicate or maybe even amplify human creativity.
Okay, I have to admit, I was a little skeptical at first. Can a machine really be creative?
Yeah.
If it's just running code, isn't it just doing what it's programmed to do?
Yeah, I think that's a fair question to ask. And, the book acknowledges that AI does have limitations. It can't, for example, experience emotions the way we do. It doesn't have that same, how should I put it, that same innate understanding of beauty or aesthetics that we humans have.
Right, it can't, get choked up listening to a powerful piece of music or be in awe of a, stunning sunset.
Exactly. But, AI does bring some really unique strengths to the table. Think about it this way. What if we could combine human intuition and artistic vision with AI's ability to process massive amounts of data and generate, countless possibilities?
So instead of AI replacing artists, it's more like a creative partner. a collaborator.
The book proposes that kind of partnership. Imagine using AI to kind of break free from our usual thought patterns, to explore combinations of ideas we wouldn't even think of on our own.
Now that's where things start to get really exciting. The book dives into this concept of conceptual blending, which sounds fascinating.
Yeah, it is. So conceptual blending is where AI takes information from different fields and mashes it all together. It's like, taking everything you know about music and blending it with, let's say, your knowledge of astrophysics.
Whoa, hold on. So we're talking about AI potentially, like creating music based on the patterns of stars. That's mind-blowing.
Exactly. It could analyze the movements and relationships between the celestial bodies and then, translate that data into a whole new form of musical composition.
That's incredible. But here's another thought. Even if AI generates something brilliant, will we even recognize it as such? Will we be, open-minded enough to accept a truly groundbreaking idea if it came from a machine?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? It challenges us to confront our own biases and preconceptions about what creativity is. We might be so attached to this idea of human creativity that we just dismiss or undervalue anything created by a machine.
It's like we need to expand our definition of creativity
Right.
to include these new possibilities. AI could be this really powerful tool for pushing those boundaries.
Yeah.
But are we ready for that? Okay, so we've gone pretty deep into this whole creative process, explored how AI could be a partner in that process. But what does it all mean for us? For us as listeners, how can we actually take these ideas and apply them to our own lives?
I think that's the key question, isn't it? The book offers some powerful takeaways. First, it reminds us that creativity is a process, right? Even though those aha moments feel magical, there are steps we can actually take to nurture our own creative potential.
It's like we're not just waiting for inspiration to strike. We can actually, Jared, create the conditions for those breakthroughs to happen.
Exactly. And the book emphasizes that AI can be a really powerful tool in this process. It's not about replacing human creativity. It's about, expanding the possibilities.
So AI can help us kind of break free from those limitations, limitations we might not even realize that we have.
Yeah, think of it like this. Imagine you're a musician working on a new song. You could use AI to explore, different chord progressions or melodic ideas you wouldn't have thought of otherwise. It could help you see your music from a whole new angle.
Or imagine you're a writer struggling with writer's block.
Yeah.
AI could help you, generate different plot twists or maybe even come up with new character motivations. It could spark your imagination and help you get unstuck.
Exactly. The possibilities are pretty much endless. But the book also reminds us that, sometimes the biggest obstacle to creativity isn't a lack of ideas. It's the fear of embracing those ideas, those ideas that challenge the status quo.
It's like we get so comfortable with our way of thinking.
Yeah.
And then anything that disrupts that it feels scary.
Yeah, it's understandable, right? But true creativity often requires us to step outside of those comfort zones, to be open to, the unexpected, to embrace the unknown.
So what's a message we want listeners to take away from this, this deep dive into AI and creativity?
I think it's this. Creativity is a journey, right? It's a process of exploration.
Yeah.
And it's something we can all nurture and develop, whether we're artists, writers, musicians, or, just someone looking to solve a problem in a new way.
Yeah, and as we move further into this age of I think we have this incredible opportunity, right? To partner with these powerful tools.
Yeah.
To push the boundaries of what's possible and to unlock new levels of creative potential.
Absolutely. So as you go about your day, think about those unspoken assumptions that might be holding you back. Challenge yourself to step outside of your comfort zone and embrace the power of creativity in all its forms.
And of course, if you want to explore this topic further, we highly recommend checking out AI for Creativity by Nicholas Hakeback. It's a fascinating read that'll definitely challenge your assumptions and inspire you to think differently about this whole creative process.
Yeah, until next time, keep those creative sparks flying.